In this lesson, we are looking at the birthplace of civilization and humanity. We need to understand the significance of Africa in the Virgin Islands. Our objectives for these lessons are to identify the birthplace of humanity, outline early migration of humanity, identify and explain the reasons for migrating. These are just some of the terms we need to familiarize ourselves with for this lesson. So just pause the video and look up these words. Bering Strait, civilization, improve, environment, impact, develop, century, BC, AD. Alrighty then, let's continue. From our word bank, there is one main term I want to explain to you myself, and this term is the Bering Strait. Now, understanding what is the Bering Strait is very, very important in this lesson. All right, from the research that I did, I found out that scientists believe that people came to North America during the last ice age. Some of you might ask, what is the Ice Age? Now, the Ice Age is that period of time when glaciers covered many parts of the northern hemisphere. If you can recall, when we look at geography of the Virgin Islands, we said that the equator, which is the main latitude line, divides the Earth into the northern and southern hemisphere. So the people that came to North America during the Ice Age, which was about 14,000 years ago, when the sea level was lower then, and there was land between Alaska and Siberia. Now, this land that was actually connecting Alaska and Siberia was referred to as a land bridge. If you look at a map now, that area is covered with water. As time went on, that area was melted and filled in with water. And this area is what we call the Bering Strait. Birthplace of humanity. Africa is the second largest continent. I hope you guys can remember your continents because we already covered that. But Africa is the second largest continent and it is known as the birthplace of humanity. Human origin began here. We know this because there is primary source to support this evidence. Grade 7, you should recall what are primary source and what is secondary source. All right, and we said that, or remember we said that our primary source, these are more reliable sources. All right. Now, the evidence, or if you want to see, the primary source that supports this states that the oldest fossils of our species was found in Africa. From here, humans migrated to many parts of the world. Believe it or not, that is information that was actually proven. So whenever you have the time, I always encourage you can do further research for yourself. All right, and then you can come back and we could always discuss further. This map here shows the path taken out of Africa. About 15,000 BC, our ancestors, yes, our ancestors started to move out of East Africa, migrating into Asia and moving across the continents using the ice bridge at the Bering Strait. The remains of early humans and their stone tools digging in Ethiopia and around the Great Lakes were some of the evidence found by archaeologists that supports early life actually existed on the continent of Africa. Let's just pause here for one question. How do you think the early humans survived? Well, let's see. They survived mainly by hunting animals and using whatever plants found in their environment for food. Let's look at some of the reasons for migration. Why did the early humans migrated out of Africa to various other continents? And if you think about how it is today, most of us are actually living here right now in the BVI. Our parents might be from some other country. Okay, I'm going to use myself as an example. Now, I'm from Guyana and I migrated out of Guyana and I'm living here in the BVI. And there must be a reason that actually pushed me to move from my country to this country. I'm actually in search of something else better than what is offered where I am from. And we can see it's the same principle that actually applied with the early humans. Now, what basically happened is that food in the Sahara desert it dried up. And you know, without food, we can't live, right? We can't exist. At least I know if it was me, I would have been like the first person ready to sacrifice whatever to get moving because I need food. So food in the Sahara desert dried up. But before this food dried up, in the Sahara, it was lush and green. So after it became dry, they migrated to the Nile Valley area along the riverbank. All right? Because nobody wants to starve. They would move in search of food. So if the Sahara Desert is dried up and there's no food, then there won't be any animals. Okay? Because the animals, they need to eat. All right? And then we will end up eating the animals. So the animals move, then the people moved. All right, so basically we have just completed the objectives for this lesson. All right, so this lesson, there's a continuation of this particular lesson and this will be posted sometime next week for you guys. All right, but we have already covered the objectives for this lesson. So what we need to take away from this based on the information that was actually presented, we can all conclude that all people ultimately are African because if it is the information is there to support that humanity began in Africa and then persons migrated to various continents. It therefore means that we all are Africans or our ancestors, all of our ancestors are actually African by descent. Okay, so what I want you to do now, I have a little activity that I want you guys to complete. Okay, just to check to see how much you can actually remember from what was discussed. So this activity is called What I Am or What Am I? I will do the first one for you so that you can understand what is expected. And the first one says, I am the birthplace of humanity. What am I? So the answer for this one would be Africa, because remember we said that Africa is the birthplace of humanity. So I'm going to leave you now so that you can pause and just do this little fun activity. And at the end, please remember to like the video, and if you haven't subscribed as yet, please do so. Thank you.